Hello, welcome to Sim UK. Welcome to HighFleet. It's released today. It released like 20 minutes ago, and I thought, do you know what? I'm going to go say hi to everybody on Discord and make sure everyone's sort of happy and excited and help anyone who I can. Watched a bit of Constantine playing live on Steam. It was very exciting. I was enjoying it a lot, and I thought, you know what? I'm just going to go play. So I've got a campaign on the go. I'm very excited to get further into the game. But these all gone. I have no campaigns no more. So I'm literally going to have to start again from scratch, which is a bit disappointing. Shall I start with the prologue? Why not? Let's just do the whole thing. To Tarkan of the 3rd Task Force, 𝗦𝘂𝗃𝗍, on my order, proceed to Calhoun at once and meet with Prince 𝗦𝘂𝗍𝗆. By imperial decree, you are to represent the crown in talks with the prince, commander of the 1st Squadron, Admiral Dowd. The great desert of 𝗥𝗲𝗃, an ancient kingdom, ruled over this land long ago until it was torn apart by strife and internecine war. There's a word I don't know. The last king of 𝗥𝗲𝗃 swore allegiance to the Romani Empire. This land seems to be doomed to bear the burden of war for all time. 7 years ago, an imperial official, the Lord Governor of 𝗥𝗲𝗃, overthrew the king and declared a rebellion against the emperor's rule. And now our turn has come. We have come to 𝗥𝗲𝗃 to end this once and for all. Wake up, Tarkan. The city of Ely is on the horizon. Our long journey is finally behind us. Everyone is eager to hear you give the order to land. Navigation, set a new destination, move the cursor to Ely and press right mouse button. Here we go. Press space to unpause, press shift to speed up. This little lever down here allows us to land, and we're just going to land one ship. We don't need them all. There's no enemies here. So on the left-hand side, you've got your speed at which you're descending, and on the right, you've got your current altitude. Shift gives you a boost, and above the ship, you can see the engine temperature gauge there. Now, for some reason, whenever the ship comes down, it never comes down perfectly straight. With a nice, gentle landing like that is all you need. Trust me. I'm an expert in landing. Ask anyone. The humming of the pump drive suddenly dies down. The ship comes to a stop. You prepare to descend the ramp, accompanied by a small group of officers and your personal guard. The uncertainty that awaits you outside fills you with unease. A small group of people are waiting patiently for you at the bottom of the ramp. Their leader is a dignified nobleman surrounded by bodyguards. So, the Admiral sent you to talk to me, Tarkan. That is correct. I'm here to discuss your involvement in the liberation of 𝗥𝗲𝗃. Or I can choose to say, my name is 𝗦𝘂𝗃𝗍𝗆, Grand Duke 𝗦𝘂𝗃𝗍𝗆. I don't know how to pronounce my own name. Let's introduce ourselves. Okay, that got us a +1. That's good. I see. Please forgive me. Please forgive my indiscretion, Grand Duke. I have never had the pleasure of meeting you before. Think nothing of it. I'm sure the two heirs to Elite's oldest monarchies can find something to talk about. The prince nods politely. I'm here to discuss your involvement in the liberation of 𝗥𝗲𝗃. Liberation? We've been at war with the Gathering for over 7 years, and I still have yet to recover my father's throne. And now His Imperial Majesty's admirals mean to retake it in a single week? Perhaps they will. My people cannot match the strength of the Gathering fleet. We have but a single corvette for each of their heavy cruisers. Your people have fought bravely for all of these years, or I can say the 1st and 2nd Imperial Squadrons will surely tip the scales. I'm going to pay him a compliment. There you go, +1, we're getting on very well. Aye, but even if, by the Almighty's mercy, the Admirals land their ships in 𝗥𝗲𝗃, what do you imagine will happen next? That isn't up to me. It's too early to say, or 𝗥𝗲𝗃 will return to the crown's rule. I'm going to say that isn't up to me. You are honest, if nothing else. Good. I will help you meet with the Tarkans of 𝗥𝗲𝗃. Perhaps some of them may become your allies in this war. The Tarkan of Kalu is a good friend of mine. If you can come to an understanding with him, I'm confident he will be a worthy ally. Worthy allies are exactly what we need right now. It's a shame we've had to meet in such troubled times, Duke. I wouldn't expect that to bother you, Prince. Or I could say the fleet has never had anything but troubled times. I'd say that. Indeed. Alright, so we're in the city. And what's weird is, as I'm scrolling left and right, it is firing up. You can see it is firing up the ship. Now, I don't think it's meant to do that. I guess you can use the mouse to scroll left and right, but yeah, there's always the concern that as you're scrolling left, the ship is going to sort of roll over and kill itself, so just be wary of that. Okay, so we're going to need some fuel. We've got 50,000 in the bank. Let's spend a few quid on fuel. Let's just see what we've got here. Aircraft rockets, aircraft bombs. I like bombs, but they're aircraft bombs. Incendiaries. Incendiaries for 100 mil. Proximity fuse. Armor piercing rounds. No, I don't have any ships for that. Okay, looks like you can still hear my ship in the background. Watch, because I'm holding the A key down. Still trying to turn the engines over. Alright, let's go back to the ship. Order executed. So, are we heading for Kalu now? Indeed. Oh, hang on, I can say, indeed, we will depart as soon as we are ready. Or I can say, Pyotr, why did Dowd choose us to meet with the Prince? The Prince has nothing left with which to fight the gathering. These talks are a mere formality. As for the Admirals, they're eager to research northern Garat as soon as possible. But they'll have to take first. So you're saying that the Dowd was just trying to get rid of me? The campaign has only just begun, Duke. I'm confident that you will have ample opportunity to prove yourself. We've got the fuel, but it'll be some time before our ships are done refueling. Very well, I'll wait. You can see refueling down here, and this is how much refueling we've currently got. So I'm going to press the shift button, speed up time. The ships are done refueling, we're ready to fly. Your orders. Give the order to take off. I'll choose our destination. What about the fuel, Pyotr Ignatievich? What do you think about this entire expedition, General? I don't want to get into that chat. Let's just say, take off and go. To set the destination, move your cursor to a city inside the blue circle and press the mouse button. So, we're going to go here. Space to unpause. Shift to speed things up. And here we go. It's simple. WASD to move and 1 and 2 to fire. A little bit more involved than that, but okay, let's see how we can do here. We've got 3 ships. We have no bombs. Not really the most powerful ships, but we should be okay. Where the hell's my ship? Oh, there it is. Couldn't see it. Okay, we're gonna get pummeled here. All 3 of them shooting at us at the same time. Let's try and get to safer grounds. Retreat available. Your squadron is comprised of several ships. You can move the ship you are currently controlling to the retreat marker to make it retreat from the battle. The next ship in your roster will then enter the battle automatically in a random location. I've asked them to get rid of this because I accidentally fly into it sometimes, but for now, it's over there on the top right-hand corner. We don't have the best engines. That's 1 down. That's 2 down. Job done. Fuel, 21%. Okay, let's go down to the city. Did I take any damage? No damage. Okay, let's just land the naval in. You can see at the bottom here, we've got like 555, 10, 30, 10. Basically, those numbers represent bonuses that you can apply to the time it takes to repair or upgrade your ship. And if I land on a 5, I'll get 5 points. If I land on 2 5s, I will get 10. If I land on a higher marker, I would get even more. But we have no damage, so it's not a problem. Tarkan, sir, we have an opportunity to replenish missiles on our ship. I highly recommend we do so. Very well. I'll handle it. Let's go. So we need more fuel, because we're not going to get very far otherwise. We need to get all the way up here to now, in here, what do we have? Armor piercing doesn't fit any of our ships. Timothy doesn't fit any of our ships. No. Now that'll fit the Wanderer, so I'm gonna take 100 rounds of that. So that will fit the Wanderer. No ships. No ships. Okay. Let's go to the ship works. This is the roster of all the ships in your squadron, sir. Scroll down to the ship's maintenance panel. Purchase a missile. It's 20 there, look. Now install it on any free hardpoint on the ship. You can install more missiles on other ships in a similar fashion. Or you can expand this so that you can add more missiles. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to buy the lot. Because these things are hard to come by. And they're really, really very, very useful indeed. Okay, so that's done. That's going to take 1 hour and cost us 1200. Job done. Let's go back to the main ship. Tarkin, sir. I've just reported our progress to the Admiral. He is satisfied. The Admiral treats me like a clueless child. He seems to have forgotten that I'm the son of his liege, the Emperor. The capital is far away. Until we return, Admiral Dowd is the one in command. He leads the squadron, and you, Duke, are the Tarkan in his squadron. We'll depart as soon as we're ready. Right, speed up time. That's not us moving, by the way. That's the clouds moving. You can see we're at 82% fueling, nearly fully fueled. The squadron is done refueling. We're ready to go. Good. I'll set the destination. I will. Scroll out, find your location, and off we go. Afterburners, activate reheat using the shift button, only very sparingly. Less is more. Less is definitely more. Right, so we've only got one ship with rocket launchers on. We got 3 Slugger attack corvettes and whatever this is. I wish that gun would be moved so I could read what that says, but... Focus on the enemy ships. We will capture the ground vehicles once the battle is over. So these are on the ground. They're going to try and shoot me. And watch out for missiles. Yes, indeed. Okay. No, this one's on the ground. These ones are flying. But they're all shooting at me anyway. Every single one of them. This ship is armed with missiles. Press space to launch a missile. A salvo of 2 or 3 missiles from afar tends to be particularly effective. Yeah, I like 2. There they go. Keeping my track on him, and they bloody missed, both of them. Right, so all 3 of them are shooting at me at the same time. Missile approaching, you can attempt to shoot it down, evade it, or use a decoy. When the missile is close to your ship, press F to launch decoy flares. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Just in time. Engine overheating is the biggest problem in ships like this. Abandoning ship. If the ship's condition becomes critical, you still have a chance to save her crew. To order your men to abandon ship, press T. But I really don't want to have to do that if I don't have to. Oh, we got no, okay, we're gonna have to retreat. We've got no fire extinguishers on that ship. Missile and 2 ships firing at me, nice. Oh, trying to get out of the way. one down. Now I'm going to try and get in between these two and try and get them to shoot each other. Oh, he's already died, the other guy. Oh, missiles! Oh no! Fuel system is on fire. Press B to activate the ship's fire suppression system. This one obviously has it. The other one didn't. Which is why I had to bug out. I don't want to get too close to the ground because there's that missile launcher down there. I think he's gone. That's it. So I don't have to worry about the one that's on the ground. We'll continue. And we'll head down to the ground. You can see I've taken a bit of damage for a couple of my ships there. This one and this one. It's okay. In fact, let's take this one down as well. In fact, let's take them all down. For the hell of it, I might be able to get some missiles added to these ships. So I can see 114 down there. That's going to reduce the amount of time that it takes to repair this ship. I believe this one is quite badly battered by the looks of things. Top right hand corner, you can see all the red bits indicating not good stuff. So it's tricky because I can't hit the sides, so I don't want to cause any extra damage. There you go, nicely done. This one also has a little bit of damage. I'm going to try and put it on that 58 directly below us. I recommend around about 500 feet you start reducing the speed for smaller ships. Bigger ships are going to need significantly more. Got to keep an eye on the engine temps at the top there, just above the ship. And when it gets slightly skew-whiff like that, you are going to have to rotate to get... Oh, do you see? We broke the foot off the ship because I didn't rotate it properly, so it didn't touch down squarely. It touched down at an angle and broke the foot off. It's very easy to do. Once you've got a little bit of damage, the rest is pretty much unstoppable. Terrible weather. I can barely see. So I'm going to put a bit of rotation on it, try and get us straight again. Shift, just to give it that extra slow down speed.
100 meters, throwing it ready. Touchdown confirmed.
Job done. Now there are two difficulty levels in this game. We're running at default. The ship's slightly bigger. It's going to need thrusters to come on a little bit earlier. On the harder setting, these landings are very precise. You don't get away with much at all.
100 meters, throwing it ready. Touchdown confirmed.
Job done. What a stunning dogfight, Duke. Were you aware of the hostile anti-air defences in Kalu, Prince? No, I was not. But Tarkan is expecting you, Duke. And indeed, there is a delegation awaiting you by the ship. A tall man steps forward. He is wearing the armour of a 𝗤𝗏 𝗠𝗏. Greetings, my lord. In the name of the Emperor, I welcome you. Glory to 𝗤𝗏 and welcome. Now there's a little thumbs up here. Your people are for the Romanist traditions. So by doing this, I'll make my crew happy. So let's do that. That gives him a +1. It pleases me to hear this. Peace be upon you, my lord. I am 𝗦𝘂𝗏𝗍𝗏, Doyen of Kalu. I'm looking for allies to wage war on 𝗧𝗏. Will you join us? Now, I haven't done this for a while actually, but you get to pick the cards, and what the cards say effectively sort of increase or decrease your relationship with this person. The higher the relationship, the more stars that you have as a relationship guide, and you can ask requests of them. Sometimes you can ask for money, information, extra ships, that kind of thing. But if you get down to 0 stars, then they leave your fleet, no longer part of your army. You have my full attention. Speak your mind of ending the war and why this must be done, of the Romani Empire and how the Elams need it to survive, of the great future that awaits all the peoples of 𝗥𝗏. Let's say ending the war. Oh, he didn't want to end the war, so he doesn't like me. I did much better than this the first time. How the untold riches that await the victor, of the injustice seen throughout 𝗥𝗏. Let's say that. My words elicit no reaction at all. That's not good. Let's give him a knife. A truly priceless gift. Yeah, I don't need it. You can have it. Alright, come on. Of the fact there is no time for philanthropy, of how the weak appeal to justice to undermine the strong. I've already said these two, so let's say no time for philanthropy. These are not the same cards I had first time round, I don't think. Oh, great. There we go. Of the woes of the people and how I wish to aid them. That's what I said last time. There you go. Kindness +1. So we've got 1 star. Of the war with 𝗂𝗏 and why it is necessary. This has got to go well. Yes, force. So we're +3 stars. I think that's it. This is my last turn. I can give him a gift to extend the conversation, or I can end it now. I'm just going to end it now. 3 stars is good. Well said, well said. This is a pleasant talk, Duke. So, what have you decided? Will you join us? I will join you gladly, Grand Duke. I want to meet the other Tarkans. Do you know where I can find them? There aren't any Tarkans around here, Duke. I've never heard of any. Thank you. I appreciate it. So we now have inland 𝗏𝗏 and a new ship, the Gladiator. Fabulous. Right. Let's go to supplies. Tarkan, sir, some of our ships are in need of repair, and this city has a shipyard. We would do well to repair them here. I'll handle it at once. So we'll get the fuel. That's not going to get us all the way to but it'll get us on our way. Let's go to the shipworks. The ship is in need of repairs. Okay. All you need to do is give the order to repair the ship. The engineering crew will do all they can. However, it will not be possible to complete the repairs if we don't have the necessary spare parts. Understood. So this is a key thing. So these are the spare parts we have in our ship hold for this ship. If I click on this one, you can see it's got some damage. Again, these are the parts we've got. But if we just come over here and click repair, drag this across to say 100%. It's going to take 7.5 hours and cost 1,800. So I'm going to say OK. That's fine. This one is also damaged. You can see it's only got 1 leg. It had 2 when I landed, but I didn't land well, so now it's only got 1. So we're going to repair that. Drag the slider. That's going to take 17.5 hours, 3,100. So we'll say OK to that as well. All right, so we'll exit. Oh, actually, before I exit, let's... Oh, it's going to put the missiles on for us. Fabulous. What about this bad boy? Can I repair this one as well? That's going to add barely anything to our costs, but it's just going to put 2 missiles on there. Now, does this have missiles already? Yes. Does this have spots for missiles? What if I repair that? Yeah, that's going to load it up with missiles as well, look. Now, the reason why the costs are so low is because I already own all these missiles, but we've only got 8 left now. Do they have any more here? Because if they do, I should snatch them. No, they don't. Okay, so we're done for. Armor and things like that you can purchase here. Fuel tanks, not especially necessary. I mean, every ship has a fuel tank. If it gets damaged, it will need to be repaired. If they don't have one and we don't have one, then we have a problem. Things like this, fire suppression systems, I'm going to grab those. You can see they've only got 2 in stock. But if we ever need to, if we ever use one, we have to replace it. So it's worth grabbing them when you have the opportunity. Right, let's exit, go back to the main ship, and press shift. Receiving a transmission from Dowd. At last! To Tarkan of 3rd Task Force 𝗦𝘂𝗍𝗍. On my order, seize the city of Melka and await our main forces there. Commander of 1st Squadron, Admiral Dowd. It seems Dowd is reluctant to assault Melka with the bulk of his forces. He's sending us ahead in case they have anti-air defences ready. That means this is our chance to get into the thick of things. So we're refueling and departing for Melka? Affirmative. So let's complete our refueling. Refueling is complete. You can see over here on the right, repair is still 16.8 hours. So we're going to be here a little bit longer. I wouldn't stay anywhere more than 24 hours because somebody will report your location to the enemy and they'll start sending some big ships. 7 hours. But we'll be fully repaired and fully weaponized. Okay, I believe we are good to go. So we're going to Melka. Let's do it. Volley fire. Allow the full charge up and then fire. Volley fire increases the chance to hit an enemy. Yeah. Basically what that means is don't start firing until you've reloaded. High explosive or incendiary. Let's go for high explosive. Let's put you in first, Mr. Wanderer. I'm just curious as to what you're like to fight with. I don't think I've ever used the Wanderer. Find out, won't we? Let's hope these missiles stay on point. Good start. Oh, we blew up my missiles, a sod. Alrighty. So we're out of missiles. Our engines are slow. This feels really heavy. This is hopefully a tough ship. Because we're going to struggle here. Just to stay out of the way is using all of my engine fuel capability. Where's the retreat area? Over on the right there. Of course it is. This is not the I'm going to fly into him.
The enemy has been destroyed.
There you go, that got rid of that one. But I think we may need to consider retreating this aircraft in favour of something a bit more fighty. I actually did not mean to retreat at that moment in time, but hey, whatever. So, he avoided both my missiles,
The enemy has been destroyed.
but that didn't stop me from blowing him up. Last ship on our list, job done. That's how close we were to defeating them with the first ship. But hey, victory is a victory is a victory. Nobody died, it's all good. Right, let's go down to the base, down to the ground. Who got injured? You a lot, you a bit. And you, and you, and you. Damn. What that means is, bearing in mind they didn't fight, is that the shipyard we were at didn't have enough parts to fix all of the issues. So we're going to go back there now and fix them all. So you can see we've got a damaged right leg, or rather a right leg socket.
500 meters.
I'm going to try and get on that 98, but it's going to be difficult.
300 meters.
And it's got to be really gentle, because if I put any pressure on that right hand leg side, too much pressure,
Throwing it ready.
if I put too much pressure on that right hand leg side, then it will snap off basically. Try and land
Touchdown confirmed.
as gently as possible. There we go. Pretty good. Everybody else can just land straight. It's no big deal. Now, one other thing that I've discovered is that... Oh, that wasn't a particularly good landing. Got away with it though. Your thrusters, if you get too close to one of your other ships, you can actually set them on fire and make them blow up. So, yeah, there's a few things you got to think about whilst you're doing this. If you haven't watched my first attempts, it can get very explosive very quickly.
300 meters. 100 meters. Throwing it ready. Touchdown confirmed.
Hey, looking good. Is this the last one? I can't remember.
Beginning final approach.
There might be one more after this, I forget.
500 meters. 300 meters.
Again, the descent rate is on the left-hand side, currently at 15, 10, 9, 15.
100 meters.
Keep that nice and low.
Touchdown confirmed.
There's one more.
Fire reverse thrusters. Beginning final approach.
Squeeze that in next to the other one.
500 meters. 300 meters. 100 meters. Throwing it ready.
Now you see that 20? If I land nice and close to that wall, I'll get the 10 of the floor and the 20 of the wall.
Touchdown confirmed.
So we get 30 in total.
Landing. Good work, everyone.
It's fun. I mean, it's like a mini game, but it is fun. Right, let's go. Get some fuel. I don't really need to worry about any of this. There's some aircraft bombs, incendiaries, armor piercing. Armor piercing for the Gladiator. Let's load up, baby. Armor piercing is very useful against heavily armored ships, obviously. Right, we'll go to ship works and we'll say, right, what needs to be done here? Can you repair it? They'll say it'll take 20 minutes and we'll do it for free. Perfect. About this one. It'll take another 20 minutes and they'll do that for free. Or is it just... What? Right, this one's going to be expensive. So this one's going to take 11.2 hours and cost 2,600. So, okay, fine. But considering it's going to be fully repaired, that's not too bad at all, actually. And the Gladiator shouldn't have any damage. It's got some minor damage there, look. You can see on that leg strut and that sort of external piece there. So I'm going to say okay. Looks like we're out of missiles, though. Don't know why it doesn't offer to put those on, but whatever. I'll put them on myself, it's fine. Okay. Oh, I take it the Gladiator then didn't have those missiles. Which is interesting. So, any new class, so any alteration that you make to an existing ship, you can rename it, and then it unlocks it in the game. So that's now available to me forever, until I delete it, of course. Right, back to the main ship. The watch reports a squadron approaching. Understood. I'm on my way. ภิôdh, Grand Duke. Admiral, well, you have my congratulations, gentlemen. The campaign has proven to be a great success so far. And I am confident, Admiral, that we owe this success to the Duke's talents. Well, thank you very much. The Admiral looks at you without saying a word. Sure he does. How did your talks with Prince Fazil go? I hope you followed your orders to the letter. Affirmative, Admiral. Good. Our next target is the city of Ur. We will join Skobelev's squadron there and begin our advance towards northern Garat. You've proven your mettle, Grand Duke. I will entrust you with the mission to seize Ur by force. The cruiser Diana and the several Intrepid-class frigates will be transferred to your command. Thank you for your confidence, Admiral. Or I could say, just the cruiser would be enough. No, I'm going to say thank you. I'll take the lot. So we've now got access to the Nomad. Good. 2 Nomads, in fact. And the Intrepid. And the Intrepid, again. I think that might be a bug, possibly. Good. I shall not detain you any longer then, 𝗦𝘂𝗍𝗍 Grand Duke. So we actually got +1 with the Grand Admiral. If you come up here to the intercom, this is where you ask for help. So you click on that, you can see we've got 2 stars. He doesn't like us very much. We've got 2 stars here. He doesn't like us very much. Where's our 3rd guy? Perhaps we don't get access to him until we complete the tutorial bit. I don't know. Tarkan, sir, we've intercepted a radio transmission. Pick up the phone quickly. Yes, sir. Click on the one that's flashing and then start rotating this until you get red flashes up here. Some sort of signal strength and even audio input. Please hurry, Tarkan. If we take too long, they'll cut it off. Great, we have a signal. Now we need to determine their bearing. Turn the antenna knob using that. Find the direction with the strongest signal. And you can see it here on the dial. Small movements is all you need. And as soon as the save comes up, if you're sure this is the right direction, press the button to save your calculations. It's a transmission from the enemy strike group, and it's uncoded. 𝗦𝘂𝗍𝗍 in position, 21 degrees by 59 degrees, 45 degrees by 44 degrees, going at speed 150, heading southeast, route Kushan. Please obtain galvanized pipes, 180 miles. Minutes? Don't know what that means exactly. Now we know their bearing and their destination. Strike groups. Strike groups are powerful enemy ship formations that hunt you. The best course of action is to avoid them at all times. Where are they going? They're going to Kushan. Excellent. We'll outmaneuver them now. Duke, take the ships and go to by way of Hermat. We'll take off as soon as we're ready, Admiral. So we'll continue refueling and repairing. Seven hours to go. 5 hours, 4 hours, 3.5, 2.5, 1.5. There we go. Job done. Zoom out. We're going to go via Hermat. We can almost go straight to but we'll go via Hermat. We need to make sure the enemy strike group never learns of our movements. To keep our location safe, we must destroy the garrison in Hermat before they can sound the alarm. Our cruiser is too slow. It is unsuitable for a surprise attack. We need to form a group of our fast ships and use them to attack the enemy. Here you can see the chance that a sudden strike will succeed with the current group. Choose the fastest ships in your squadron based on their speed stat. Okay, so the Intrepid has a speed of 307. 307, Wanderers 268, Gladiators 329. So the Gladiator's the fastest, but I don't just want to send one ship. So we're going to send the Gladiator with missiles and the Intrepid. Excellent, the group is ready. Now send it to Hermat. Move the cursor to Hermat and press the left mouse button. I don't know why I started getting that all wrong. It took me ages to remember that command. Once the group has completed its mission, order it to rejoin the squadron. Sir, yes, sir. Alright, speed up time. And let's take the Gladiator in just to see how she behaves. Curious. Right, they're on the ground by the looks of things. And that's because they're not expecting us. So, I don't know if you noticed there, he changed his shot to try and take out our missiles. Obviously, he didn't want to get hit by them. That's it. That should be job done. Pretty straightforward. Bit of a slow ship, that one, but quite strong, quite powerful. Okay, now it tells me to send them back to the ship, but I'm actually going to send them down to the ground. And we'll send down the Gladiator. And unless my eyes are deceiving me, it's either a 10 and a 10 or 1010 performance there. I think it must be 10 and a 10 actually. But there is 110 there, so I'm going to take that on instead. If I can fit through that little gap. And that is a little gap. Very little gap.
300 meters.
Going to be proper tight.
100 meters. Everyone get ready.
Looking good? Looking very good.
Touchdown confirmed. Landing complete.
Okay, so let's go to supplies. We'll fill up on fuel. We'll exit. And we'll go to shipworks. We'll just see how long it's going to take to repair this. 0.7 hours. Okay. So you can see my second ship up there. If I click on that, I can put it in the docks. And I've been clicking on that for ages. But what you can actually do is, if you just come here and click on repair, you can just get repairs without having to land the ship. I don't know why I was having trouble with that earlier. I was having a chat with somebody and I was saying, no, it doesn't work anymore. It used to work, it doesn't work anymore. So in a situation where you've got a ship with no legs, you can land it on its side. It is possible to do that and speed up the repair time, but it's probably not advisable. So my recommendation would be always to land one ship, and then you can have a good look at them, see how much damage they've got, where the damage is, and then decide if you want to land those and put them in the docks and get like an accelerated repair, or just repair it at the additional time cost that will incur. So yes, apologies to whoever I was speaking to earlier about that. Just got myself all muddled up. I've not been well this week. Been rather unwell indeed. Apparently I can't move that across, so there's no more stuff. Yeah, I've not been well at all, so I'm just going to blame it on that. My head's not quite in the game at the moment. We just got off the line with the squadron. Any news from the capital, or the Caterpillar, which is what I was going to say for some reason. Not much. The situation's still grim. The rebels are firmly entrenched in 𝗦𝘂𝗃 Ridge. It'll be a long while before we can drive them out. And what of that reactor everybody's talking about? Does it really exist? Everyone's talking? Pietr's voice trails off. He looks at you for several seconds in silence. You should probably ask the Admiral about that, Grand Duke. Interesting. Something going on there. Right, so you can see our main fleet has now joined up with our ships. We've got a bit of fuel. It's actually not going to be enough to reach our next location. So let's come back down and get the rest of the fuel that we need. That gives us the range. We have to sit here for a little while. Oh, hello, radio signal. What do we got? Very fine movement sometimes. Jade, arriving in 9 hours, going at speed 150. Go on the route Kushan-Melka. Be ready to provide fuel. Cool. Alright. Kushan to Melka. So whoever that is, they're currently heading from there to there. So we could intercept them. And probably somewhere in that region and take them out. One thing I like is, I didn't know you could do this, but if you put an X there, you can say cargo, low fuel, which I think is pretty cool. But I didn't know you could type on the map until I saw the dev do it earlier today. Anyway, let's continue refueling. Not that we need any more, but Fuel is absolutely essential in this game. So let's put my pencil back in there. Let's go. No one knows what might be waiting for us, Duke. Should the going get tough, I ask. I ask that you request reinforcements from the Admiral. Rest assured, General, I would never put my men at risk just to save face. I'm glad to hear that, Duke. Should you require reinforcements, just use the internal comms to contact the Admiral. Like I say, there's the Admiral. There is this guy. And there should be a third guy. I don't know what happened to the third guy. Sometimes when you're making videos, you don't necessarily pay attention to what's going on. You just kind of go, do it, get it done. Right, prize ship. Transport. Transport ship will surrender if you destroy his escort. Try not to damage the transport so that it can be sold for a good price. Now, I don't see a transport. It's going to be a big battle, this, isn't it? The Gladiator's pretty good. The Wanderer's pretty crappy. I'm going to go with that configuration. Actually. Yeah, I'm going to go with that configuration. I reckon I could do it with a Gladiator and 2 Intrepids, but I don't know. It was a hell of a battle, this one. And when I did this last time, I had a few cracks at it before any sort of success was made. Oh great, we've got no missiles. How did that happen? And I'm going to get hit by a missile myself. Whoa. More missiles coming in. This is not the start I was hoping for. We may need to retreat this particular vessel. Maybe I could take one out. Be nice if I could take one out. Yes, there's one. There's a lot of missiles coming my way. Whew. That's going to hit. Couldn't get out of the way of that one. There's a lot of missiles coming my way, and that just made that nearly go into me. Right, I'm going to get this ship out of here. Struggling like Billy-O. Got a few passing shots in. Oh, I could not hit that missile. Come on, retreat. There we go. Jeepers. We've got crappy guns on these. And we got no flares. Whoa! Oh, crikey. Well, when I said I thought I could do it with 2 ships, what I meant was 2 ships with missiles. Come on. Yeah, we're going to have to head towards the retreat. Oh, that was close. Engine's overheated. Yeah, that ship got done. I took out my missiles, I don't believe it. Just missed that missile, but there's more coming in, and my engines are already done. I'm going to have to retreat this one as well. Yeah, we're in trouble here. I don't think I even destroyed one ship with this. Ah, son of a bitch. So many missiles. Alright, let's go, let's go. Auxiliary artillery. In addition to its primary cannon, this ship has an auxiliary cannon system. Use auxiliary weapons to eliminate fast, agile targets in close range and destroy enemy missiles in the air. To fire your auxiliary weapon, press that button. So you can see we're taking a lot of damage. But that's okay, because we're also inflicting a lot of damage. Air-to-air missiles, AAM. These missiles are expensive and can only be used once, but they work wonders against agile air targets. To launch an AA missile, press C. So that took out the missile that was coming my way. Did I get that thing? Alright, let's try and get ourselves up in the air. This thing is so heavy. So I'm pretty sure that's all of them, isn't it? Oh. There we go, job done. So we lost a few men. 73 is not terrible. Those first few ships had, like, well, the first two had no missiles at all. The second two missed with every missile I fired. It wasn't the best combat situation I've ever been in, I'll be honest. Right, that's taken a lot of damage. So's that, so's that, so's that somehow, and that one, and that one, and that one. Okay, they've all taken damage. We're just going to land... See, this one's only got one leg. So I'm not going to land that one because it's tricky. This one's got no legs at all. But if I land that, it will probably blow up. So we'll land the Nomad, which in itself isn't going to be perfect. A perfect situation because it's huge. And it's really heavy. Really heavy. But we'll have a go. We'll have a go. So you see we've got a nice little spot over here on the left. Putting the thrusters on nice and early, and you can still see we're still dropping. Still dropping. Engine temperatures are increasing.
300 meters.
And it's starting to rotate. So now I've got to straighten it up.
100 meters. Everyone get ready. Touchdown confirmed.
Good landing. Okay, so what we're going to do here, arrival in As we enter the city of a large crowd of people welcome us as heroes with cries of joy. Congratulations, Duke, what a glorious victory. Well done, Mark. Now all the naysayers will have no choice but to shut their mouths. I swear, even Dowd will rejoice in today's success. Thank you, Pyotr Ignatievich. Shall I report to the Admiral? Certainly, why wait? That was the moment when we realised that the hearts of the people of Ghourak were on our side. What a beautiful day it was. We celebrated our victory in the present without a care in the world for what lay ahead of us. Until. To Commander of the 1st Squadron, Admiral Dowd, by order of the High Command, remain in and await further instructions. I have been ordered to return to our point of origin. No explanation provided. Commander of the 2nd Squadron, Admiral 𝗂𝗂𝗃. On the morning of the 6th day, the observation station reported a large vessel approaching from the south. All our forces were put onto high alert. It was a lone ship, approaching slowly and showing no signs of aggression. Hope began to spread among the officers. Perhaps it was one of 𝗂𝗂𝗃's vessels, but when it got close enough, we recognized it. The Imperial cruiser Sevastopol. It was staggeringly gigantic, a veritable flying mountain. We assembled an honor guard and prepared to meet the crew. But to our astonishment, the first man to step down the ramp was a tall Elaine wearing a golden mask. Behind him was an endless crowd of people with terrible burns and gruesome wounds, all of them Romani from the capital. It was from them that we finally heard the terrible news. The capital of the Empire had suffered a nuclear strike 4 days ago. 𝗬𝗂𝗍𝗄𝗃 stronghold burned down in an instant, reduced to a smouldering desert of radioactive waste. What remained of the Imperial fleet was in a disarray, trying desperately to fight off the gathering's advancing forces. We were at a loss for words. We didn't know what to do. Most of us wanted to head for the capital and join the battle, knowing that the war was already as good as lost. Gentlemen, I have assembled you here to discuss our future activities in the light of the most recent events. My opinion is this: we must press on and continue our advance towards 𝗂𝗃. 𝗦𝘂𝗃𝗽𝗍, the news from the capital has rendered this entire operation moot. We must return to the motherland at once, the sooner the better. On the contrary, taking 𝗂𝗃 is more important than ever, if you would allow me to elucidate. I've had several lengthy conversations with the crew of the 𝗦𝘂𝗲𝗍. It pains me to say this, but I'm convinced that the war in the south is lost. Returning to the motherland will spell certain doom for us. We all had similar suspicions. Now that those fears had been put into words, many of the officers averted their gaze. Then what do you propose, 𝗬𝗂𝗍? There was an exhaustion in Dowd's voice. The rebel fleet is currently engaged in heavy combat in the south. Now is the time to mount an offensive in the north and take 𝗂𝗃 by force. And what comes next will just delay the inevitable. Sooner or later they will come to 𝗂𝗃. I have reason to believe that our intel on the reactor is accurate. If we can seize it, they won't fight back. They will come to the bargaining table to ensure that the reactor is intact. Perhaps we might be able to strike a deal. 𝗬𝗂𝗍 looked around. The officers considered his words. We have to send a vessel to re-establish communications with the capital once we have a reliable line to the south. There is no time for that, Sheriff 𝗦𝘂𝗃𝗽𝗍𝗆. If we do not mount an assault on 𝗂𝗃 here and now, it will be too late. We spent the rest of the night and the entire following day discussing 𝗬𝗂𝗍's plan. Eventually, we agreed to send the cruiser Diana to the south in a bid to re-establish communications with the Empire. The rest of our forces hastily began preparations to reach 𝗂𝗃 and assaulted it. The 𝗦𝘂𝗍𝗆 became the flagship of the new squadron, and at some point, an officer asked who would command the offensive. 𝗬𝗂𝗍 readily replied with a plan of his own. He stood up and spoke with confidence. No one yet knows what has befallen the Emperor, he said, so the Grand Duke, the sole legitimate heir of the dynasty, must lead what remains of the Romani fleet in his offensive. Admiral Dowd balked the idea, but his furious cries of protest were ignored. The officers eagerly supported the general's suggestion. The thought of their heir to the throne leading the charge himself did wonders for morale. The unanimous support they showed me was certainly uplifting, but at the same time, I was terrified. A moment ago I'd been a Tarkhan, but now I was the embodiment of the entire Romani Empire in their eyes. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm going to wrap that one up for this particular episode. It's been a lot of fun. Please join me again for the next episode. Till then, take care. Bye for now.